I'm Attorney General Tom Corbett. There's an epidemic in Pennsylvania. Our streets are running red with the blood of victims killed by senseless gun violence. Criminals are killing each other and innocent children are getting caught in the crossfire. But there's a way to slow the bloodshed in the streets. Stop buying guns for them. Buying a gun and passing it on to a person with a criminal record is called straw purchasing. When the gun you purchase for a criminal kills another, then the blood, the pain, the misery it causes, the lives it destroys are on your hands. The individuals that were interviewed for this program are from Philadelphia, where the murder rate is at an all-time high. But the images that you'll see were captured from across the state. Gun violence isn't just a Philadelphia problem. It's everyone's problem.
In several neighborhoods across the city, there has been an unusual outbreak of extraordinarily bloody violence, with guns being the primary weapon of choice for especially young people. They feel they have almost a license to go out and shoot and kill and terrorize.
You have young kids, teens, that are doing the majority of the murders. The majority of the murders are happening in the black community. Kids just don't care nowadays.
We've had juveniles as young as 10, 11 years old possessing guns. There are young people who haven't even imagined getting into a life of crime that are coming into possessing of these guns, either buying them or bartering for them on the street, and ultimately they find themselves in circumstances where they come to use them.
There's kids who are afraid to come outside and play. There's people that are even afraid to go out to catch the bus to go to work. People that are getting shot inside their homes. It's just out of control right now.
August the 13th, 1997, changed my life forever. I have a set of identical twin boys, and my firstborn identical twin, he was shot down. He was shot in his back, and he fell, straddled, hit the little motorcycle that he rode. And this guy that had shot my son stood over top of my child, and he shot him 3 more times. My son was 20 years and 50 weeks. He was 2 weeks shy of his 21st birthday. His twin made it and he didn't.
There's never the right words to say when you're telling a victim's family that their loved one has died. Usually the physician or the doctor wants to go out there and tell them everything that we tried to do, because that makes us feel better. But the family's just waiting for those magic words that either their loved one is alive or that their loved one has died. And there's really no good way of putting that.
It changed me forever. I am not the person that I used to be. And I'll never be that person again. It has devastated my family. It has left my grandson fatherless. You know, it has tore the very fabric of our existence. There are lots of people being killed innocently. My son was innocent.
Everyone is responsible for ending the cycle of violence in our communities. Students, parents, educators, the community at large. Everyone is responsible for breaking the cycle of violence in our city.
When drug dealers get into shootouts, it's usually the drug dealers that don't get hit. It's normally an innocent child or someone just walking down the street. They just shoot and don't care what they're aiming at. They're just squeezing rounds off, and wherever they hit, they hit.
For every one person who's killed in Philadelphia, at least 5 others are shot and injured but survive. And frankly, if we didn't have some of the greatest trauma surgeons and centers in the city of Philadelphia, our homicide rate would be astronomical.
One of the murders, not even including the gun violence. The majority, I believe, are straw purchasers.
Anybody who uses a straw purchaser is a fool and a liar and a bad person. Anybody who allows himself to be used by a felon to go in and buy a gun for them is themselves responsible for all the death and carnage that happens on the streets of Philadelphia as a result of putting that gun in that person's hand. You are responsible for every death, every injury, every amputation, and every funeral that follows from the use of that gun. It's all on you.
You're not purchasing it to protect yourself or to protect your home. You're purchasing it to do something illegal or to do bodily harm to someone else.
After it occurs for so long and all the threats and things that are going on from the people that are actually doing the shootings, it brings down the morale in the neighborhood. People are afraid to come out and tell who these people are, who they saw with the guns, and it kind of makes it very hard for the police to actually solve these shootings and homicides.
If you're buying a gun for a felon, your life will be destroyed just like the lives that are being destroyed by the senseless gun violence, and you'll be going to jail.
The police, including the task force that I'm in, are actually going out to arrest the people who were doing the shooting and also the people who are actually providing these guns for these shooters. The worst thing I see when it comes to gun violence is the innocent kids that are hurt from it. Whether it's being shot and killed, or even the looks on the kids' faces when you actually have to lock their parents up.
I have 9 grandchildren. They don't go nowhere unless I know where they are. It's even hard to let them play on the block. Things are happening. It's crazy.
There are some patients that come in with multiple gunshot wounds to their head, unfortunately with brain matter that has been extruded from their head. And we can see hearts that are blown into pieces and lungs that are also mangled from gunshot wounds.
The choice you make today could impact your life for years to come. To buy a gun for a violent offender is simply making the wrong choice.
I think everybody is aware of 406 homicides last year and 2004 shootings last year. The patient may die, it's felt by their family, but as a society, what's going on in our city right now lessens all of us.
The streets are literally bleeding with our children's blood. And I say that again. The streets are literally bleeding with our children's blood. All walks of life is happening, all cultures. No one is exempt. Innocent people are being killed. That gun came from somewhere. And we need to have more accountability. We need to hold more people accountable for that gun. The person that purchased it, the person that gave it to the next person. It's devastating. Truly. You know, murder is devastating.
Seen enough? If you still think buying a gun for someone else isn't a big deal, think again. If you buy a gun for a felon in Pennsylvania, we're coming after you. We'll trace the gun, arrest you, convict you, and send you to jail. That's the bottom line. Think it can't happen to you? Think you won't get caught? Think again.